Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I am Leticia Ringe, your coach, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. So today we're going to talk about the transformation 4-step process. This is a process that I have distilled transformation into, and it is the process that I'm working my way through with every single coaching client that I'm working with, no matter what area of life we're working on. You can use this process for any transformation in your life, whether it's a big one or a small one, including a total life makeover like the one I've been through over the past 14 months, or a business transformation, a health transformation, a relationship transformation, of course. You can use it for yourself and for your own life and business, or you can use it with your clients. And I know that this 4-step process is going to give you all so much clarity. So before we dive into the 4 steps, I also want to give you all a little bit of a life update. I hope you're all so well. I wanted to just point out how amazing it is to be falling in love as a proper adult. When I was last in love, I was in my early 20s, and while, yes, I was an adult then, it is such a beautiful experience to be experiencing falling in love and the beginning stages of a new relationship as a more advanced adult, and also as a coach with all of the awareness that I've built over the years. I'm also a total romantic. My favorite movie is The Holiday. I also love The Notebook and Clueless. They're all romances or rom-coms, and my favorite books are like Jane Austen books, a lot of 19th century romantic era. So anyone who might have recently experienced a breakup, or is single and is really wanting a relationship, or is falling in love right now as we speak, I just want to remind you how amazing it is to fall in love. And you know, we don't need to just fall in love with a partner. We can also fall in love with any area of our life. And that's the energy I want you to think about when we think about transformation. Falling in love with the transformation that you're seeking, falling in love with your dreams, falling in love with your desires, your hopes, and then bringing that same falling in love feeling to the entire transformation process. You deserve it, and honestly, you can create whatever you want to create. So notice what your dreams and desires are and pay attention, because they are calling you for a reason. On that note, I also want to remind those of you who are looking for one-to-one coaching. I am offering a 3-month one-to-one coaching journey right now as we speak. This is a really rare opportunity and one that is so valuable. I want you to ask yourself, what is your transformation worth to you? And are you worth investing in yourself to have a space held for you so that you can work your way through the transformation process with a skilled coach by your side? If you want to know more about my one-to-one coaching, head to leticiaringe.com/coaching, and then all you need to do is follow the prompts to apply. It's a 3-step application process. You can all fill it in, and then I'll be able to review your answers and come back to you with my recommendations for coaching. It's 3 months long because that is the minimum amount of time for a transformation. And I can't wait to help those of you who are called to this experience. Now, let's talk about the 4-step transformation process. Step number 1 in my 4-step transformation process is all about awareness. This is the step in the 4-step process that we all want to skip, but you cannot transform without it. You must be aware of where you are right now in relation to your transformation. Now, what this means is pausing for a moment to bring your awareness to look at the facts of your current situation. Where are you right now in relation to your transformation? I would love you all to pause and think about this question in relation to the number one transformation you are desiring right now? Where are you in relation to that transformation right now? I want you to answer this with facts only. So only answer it with words that other people would agree with, and not words that some people would agree with, words that everybody would agree with. These are your circumstances. So for instance, if you're not in a relationship right now, you're not in a relationship right now. If you are earning $100,000 right now in your business, you're earning $100,000 right now in your business. These are facts. Examples of things that are not facts include I'm not successful, or I'm not thin enough, or I'm not good enough to be in a relationship. These are not facts. These are limiting stories and opinions that are not serving you, but many of our minds like to offer us. So answer that question, where am I right now in relation to the transformation that I am seeking? And answer only using factual words and statements. Now, the reason we want to have this awareness at this stage is because we want to put ourselves in a position where we, one, are accepting where we are right now, and two, where we are owning where we are right now. The reason we want to do this is because as soon as you stop fighting, stop ignoring, stop avoiding, and stop judging where you are right now, the sooner you will allow yourself to move forward towards the transformation that you're desiring in the quickest possible way. What we do as humans is we try to skip this stage. We focus on where we want to go, and we try to either rush towards it and take a lot of action, or we resist taking any action because we're so overwhelmed by the facts in our life changing that we don't allow ourselves to move forward at all. This is where we start self-sabotaging and procrastinating and buffering, or we take a lot of action for the sake of action, but we still are doing that from a place of resistance within ourselves. We are stepping in front of ourselves. And that's because we are fighting, ignoring, avoiding, judging, maybe shaming or guilt tripping ourselves as to where we are. So for example, if you are thinking about a business transformation, one of the first exercises I get my clients to do is to take stock of where they are right now in their business. I want them to write down how many clients they have, how much revenue they're bringing in, whether they've got any monthly reoccurring revenue coming in, and any other data that is relevant to their business. The reason we do this is not because I want to know where they're up to. It's because I want them to be aware of where they are up to and come to a place of acceptance and ownership. I am here and that is okay. We want to get you to a place of neutrality with where you are. Otherwise, what you're ignoring here and the emotions and thoughts you have about where you are is stopping you from moving forward. It might be that you have no idea what you actually want in relation to your transformation and why you want it, because you're blocking the clarity because you're not aware of where you are and accepting where you are. Or it could be that you've got the clarity, but you're just unable to move forward. And it's because you're skipping this stage. Now, in relation to a relationship, for instance, if you're someone who is single right now and is wanting to be in a relationship, it could simply be recognizing and accepting and owning that right now, I am single and I am not in a relationship. It might also be acknowledging and I'm not dating. Or it could be acknowledging that right now I'm going on 3 dates a week, or I'm dating one person, or maybe I'm dating a couple of people. You want to be aware of what the facts are of your current circumstances in relation to the transformation you're seeking. Once you are aware of that, we want to bring you to a place of neutrality so that you stop fighting where you are and therefore allow yourself to move with ease into the next stage in the transformation process. Step number 2 is about clarity. My friends, clarity is not something that we think
our way to. Trust me, I've spent so much time trying to think my way to clarity. It's never worked. So clarity arrives when resistance is removed, when we have space, when we're not fighting ourselves and our current circumstances. It's when you let go. Letting go is one of the hardest things to do. I know it's been one of my biggest challenges in life, and over the last 14 months, I've learned a lot about it. And what I can tell you is that once you let go, in trust that clarity will arrive if you haven't received it yet, clarity will inevitably arrive. You've got to let go in order to let go of the resistance. And part of that happens in step 1 when you simply meet yourself where you are and accept where you are and own where you are. Ownership looks like not blaming other people for where you are as well. That's something that we might need to work through step 1. You might be unconsciously or consciously blaming people for where you are, and that's not serving you. It means you're judging where you are, and you're also outsourcing all of your power. We don't want to do that. We basically want to close all the energy leaks and bring all of that power back to you, so that in step number 2, clarity isn't something we're trying to work out. It's something that arrives, and it can arrive so effortlessly and easily when we do the work in step 1. The question you will ask yourself here, once you're clear on your answers to the question I gave you in step 1, is then you want to ask yourself, where do I want to be? So we first asked, in relation to my transformation, where am I right now? The second question is, where do I want to be? Own your desires. Be courageous. Now, sometimes we do have some resistance that comes up at this step as well, even if we've done really, really great work in step 1. And that could be because of the way you're thinking about what you desire. You might think that it's really hard to get to where you're going. You might be scared of your own success. You might be scared of change. In fact, it's very normal for this resistance of where you're going to also cloud you truly owning your desires. An example of this is sometimes we minimize our true dreams and our true desires because we do not believe that it's realistic to get to where we want to go. Your mind wants you to know the plan, the how. So as it's trying to think about what you desire, it might also be trying to think about how you get there. And if your mind cannot see a path for getting to where you want to go, it might minimize your true desires and dreams, which might mean shape-shifting them altogether so they look completely different, or it might look like simply minimizing them. The truth is, the path to getting to where you want to go is about putting yourself in a position where you can trust the unfolding journey, where you can live comfortably in the unknown, focusing your attention and your awareness on where you're going, knowing that the path presents itself one step at a time. So the path is really allowing yourself to let go and trust that that is what is happening. So clarity arrives when we let go of our need to have the plan as well. And we want to make sure we're owning the real desire, because the real desire is there for a reason. If you're telling yourself, okay, well, I can't be in an amazing, thriving relationship that meets all the desires that I have, so I'm going to go for this other version, maybe this kind of person and experience that I think I can have, then you're setting yourself up to go in a direction that doesn't even ignite you. The information that you're getting about your desires is setting you up for what you're meant to have. If you ignore that, you're going to set yourself on a path that ultimately is going to mean that you're going to need another transformation later in that area. So don't do this. So an example of where you want to be in your business could be a financial goal. It could be a dream opportunity that you want. Maybe you want to win an award. Maybe you want to go on TV. Maybe you want to have a leading program within your area. It doesn't matter what it is. You want to make sure you clearly define what the transformation is that you're seeking. In relation to a relationship, it could be that I want to be in a conscious, thriving relationship with a partner who matches me on all levels. That might be what you like. That was what I wanted. It might be worded in a different way. You find the words for your transformation. This is something that we can support you with in coaching too, because often it can be difficult to really claim what we desire because we have to be courageous. Okay, once we know what it is we want, we move on to step 3, realignment. This is where we identify the problem that's standing in the way of our clients and ourselves in relation to the transformation we're seeking. So generally, this is where we uncover our unconscious commitments and the reasons behind them. That's because there is a really, really good reason for where you are right now. You are where you are in relation to the transformation that you're seeking for a reason. And it's a positive reason. You are not being so self-destructive that you're just doing this to have a laugh at yourself. You don't know the answer for how you move towards where you want to go, or you're not taking the action that you know you need to take for no reason, right? There is a very good reason for why you are where you are right now, and I can tell you what it is. It's because part of you is unconsciously or consciously committed to being where you are right now. So if you're single and you want to be in a relationship, part of you and the dominant part of you is unconsciously committed to being single. If you are in your business wanting to make a certain amount of money and you're not making that amount of money, that's because the dominant part of you is either consciously or unconsciously committed to making the amount of money you're making right now in your business. We always know what our unconscious commitments are because they represent your life right now. So what we want to do is become aware of what your unconscious commitments are in relation to your transformation, and then we want to get clear on why they are there so we can start to realign you. We want to let go of these unconscious commitments so we can move into the new conscious commitment that you're making with your prefrontal cortex that is saying, hey, I want this thing. Transformation is guaranteed when we build more resonance and awareness here. So the question I want you to think about for this step is, why am I committed to where I am right now? See what comes up for you, and that is going to give you some important information to help you start to realign. It's this part of the transformation process that we would spend a lot of time digging into together in a coaching program. And I can tell you that whatever your unconscious commitment is in relation to the transformation you're seeking right now that's stopping you from moving forward, that is also showing up in other areas of your life. So when you use a coaching container to help you transform in one area or aspect of your life, you are for sure going to make transformation in other areas of your life easier, because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So remind yourself, no matter how insignificant the transformation you're seeking seems to you right now, remind yourself how valuable it is, because it touches not only that area of your life, but every other area. The fourth and final step in the transformation process is embodiment. This is where you live from your new paradigm. The only way we can make paradigm shifts, which is what is required of you in order to transform, is that we unlock ourselves from the current paradigm we're living in, which is basically the way that you're looking at and perceiving the world, and that has been habituated, and it seems like you can't escape it and can't see the world in any other way, and that's why we spend all of this time really intentionally unlocking it and unraveling it and unpicking it. And once you do that, you allow yourself to step into a new paradigm. Now, when you're living from your new paradigm, sometimes it's a quantum leap, right? You've got the awareness about what is standing in your way, and you're able to just shift into this new way of perceiving the world. But more often than not, it's actually about practicing the new paradigm. So you need to allow yourself to practice embodying the new paradigm you are stepping into. This means that you've got to allow yourself to make mistakes and to make it up as you go along. So this is where the trust is required. A strong why will support you to trust yourself in this stage of the process. This is where creativity and innovation are also required. You are going to be making it up as you go along. You're going to be drawing from your own intuition, from your own inspiration, from your curiosity. And you've got to keep taking action and living out a reality even when you don't have evidence that it's working. So you've got to be taking the action ahead of time. You've got to be taking the inspired action before you've got evidence that it's actually creating the results and the transformation you're seeking. This is hard. It's hard because everything in your mind is going to tell you that what you're doing isn't working. But this is where we're living from a shift in perception. This is where in coaching, we're getting you to live from a place of possibility rather than from a place of limitation or from a place of familiarity. If you live from a place of familiarity, you are going to continue to live out the same life you've lived to date. It makes sense, right? Because anything else would be living from possibility. But the truth is, we live in a universe with unlimited possibility and potential. If you allow yourself to live in the magic of that without limiting yourself with how it needs to unfold because it's the way you've seen other people do it before, and instead you allow yourself to wake up to the truth of your reality, which is that magic and miracles happen every day when you allow yourself to be surprised and you release the how, you will experience magical, miraculous transformations. That does not mean that you're not taking action. I have worked with so many clients who keep trying to prove to me that all they need to do is believe and they don't need to take action. And I can tell you it never works, because if you're not taking action, you're not truly believing. Otherwise, you'd be taking the action. The way you can know is you can ask yourself, if I already had the transformation that I was seeking, or even if I just had 25% of the evidence that my transformation was working. So let's say you want a certain amount of clients. Let's say you've got a quarter of those. Ask yourself what you'd be doing if you had that 25% result. You'd probably be taking some positive action to continue doing the thing that you know is creating the result for you. Now, what most of us are doing is we're waiting to get the 25% before we take that action. But it's the action that you take in faith and trust that you have been given guidance to take right now that is what creates the transformation you're seeking. And you've got to take it from that place of trust. This looks like, in the context of a relationship, of showing up when your curiosity or your inspiration or your intuition leads you to going to an event or getting out and about or going on a dating app or getting to know someone further. It might be that you've been on a date with someone and you think, you know what, that didn't go really well, but your intuition is telling you, go on a second date. And then you go on the second date and it's much better because typically most people are really nervous on the first date. So it's not always going to blow your socks off. If you're willing to trust what you're receiving rather than what your mind is telling you in terms of limiting stories, you will have magic unfold. And I want you all to experience that so much because magic awaits you at every turn of your life journey if you're only willing to see it. Okay, my beautiful friends, so that is the 4-step transformation process. Again, the first step is awareness. It's all about owning where you are right now instead of fighting where you are right now. Step 2 is about clarity. Remember that clarity only arrives when resistance to where we are right now is removed. Step 3 is all about realignment. It's about owning our unconscious commitments and taking responsibility for them, bringing awareness to them so that we can move into our new conscious commitments without the baggage of all of the unconscious commitments that we have and being unaware of those. And then the 4th and final step is about embodiment, and it's all about living from your new paradigm in trust before you have evidence of the transformation you're seeking. That is the 4-step transformation process, and it will transform every aspect of your life if you work your way through it. And that is exactly what my coaching program can support you with. We do 3 months of deep transformational coaching work together where we get really, really clear on each step of the transformation process so that you can make the transformation seeking you. You can use this for a full life makeover. You can use it for a specific area of your life. You can use it for a particular phase of the relationship cycle. You can use it to create or to grow or to scale your holistic business. I have called it world class because it's all about creating your world class life. If you would love support and receive world class coaching that you deserve, head to leticiaringe.com/coaching and take action while the iron is hot because these places won't be around forever. All right, my beautiful friends, I will see you in our next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and I appreciate you so much. If you would like support one-to-one as you up-level your life, business, or relationships in a conscious, intentional, and love-focused way, then head to leticiaringe.com/coaching. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.